Thank you.
Hopefully, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, and if I present, can you still see my screen? Just a second. Can you still see my screen? Has it become full screen?
Yes.
Okay, okay. I'll go then. Hi, everyone. I'm Katerina. I'm CEO of Bees Abroad. We are a small UK registered charity, and we provide beekeeping training in 7 sub-Saharan African countries as a way to provide sustainable long-term income that can also then unlock other opportunities for communities that we work with. Today, I'm not going to necessarily be the presenter. Jeremiah will be the presenter. It will be a recording, so you will hear more from him than from me. To set the background of this particular project, as you know, Sierra Leone went through just over 10 years of a civil war in the 90s, and limb amputation was in fact a frequent punishment that was indiscriminate of gender and age. So you did have a lot of individuals, 3 in 4, who died because there was not adequate medical care available for everyone. There is an estimate of 1,600 surviving amputees, but I guess the question is, once you survive that, what is life like? Unfortunately, for a lot of the amputees, they would be marginalized and not included as respected members of the community because they're considered consumers of care and a burden. Very often, there's the perception that they are not useful members of the community and providing as opposed to taking from their families. So what we believe in Bees Abroad and working with partners is that through beekeeping, we can provide income that is sustainable, that also can unlock independence for those marginalized groups, in this case, particularly the amputees, and hence, in fact, change not only their economic status, but also their social status within the communities they live. So there won't be much talking from me. I will let Jeremiah share with you his story of how he's come to be today. And what I would like to take you through is actually the key points that have changed his life, and you can see how vocational training and including beekeeping can be impactful moments and really game changers for people to have a better life. So I'll just let Jeremiah speak.
A moment before Jeremiah speaks, I can see Claire has her hand up. Claire, please.
Yes, because I chose to go into room 3. Although the beekeeping program is wonderful, but I would like to be in room 3. So I don't know why I'm in room 1.
Just give me a moment. I'll
No
sort that out.
problem.
Thank you.
I don't know if other people had this, but I couldn't hear Jeremiah when the video started a moment ago.
Yeah, me neither.
Good you mentioned that. Let's see how I'm gonna. Oh, I always have this issue now. How do I make sure that I share the video sound as well? Do you know? No?
Now we've lost your screen.
You can see me now, right?
Yeah, we can see you, yeah.
Sorry, I'm just trying to see whether I can, if my video, I'm so sorry, because I was intending this to be video. So if I share, use hardware. Does anyone know on Zoom how I can, I'll stop sharing for a moment. Does anyone know on Zoom how I can make sure that the sound from my video also is shared?
I think if you just try once more, because I think it was about to create some sound. So I think maybe the volume perhaps needs to just go up. If you just try the video once more, because I could hear something.
Right, okay. And maybe I can also put my volume up.
That's okay.
Okay.
Technical things are horrible.
Yes, I'm very sorry because I
No,
didn't
don't say
really-
sorry.
Right. Let's just try one more time
Yeah.
then. Let me press play. Can you hear?
No. No, no sound.
Oh, yeah. I'm very.
Have you tried going into the audio settings?
That's what I'll do now.
Oh, you were there. Yeah, okay.
That's what I'm sorry, everybody. I feel like I'm taking all the time. Maybe it should. Oh,
Katerina, while
yes.
you're finding the volume, would you like me to talk a little bit about the occasion when that video was taken? Because I can fill people in a little bit on that if you like. So I'm Kath from Well, and we are in partnership with Bees Abroad. So we work in a location in Sierra Leone, and the amputees actually come from Waterloo, which I believe our next speaker is due to talk about. So this video was recorded at the training centre where the amputees had come for their beekeeping training. And they were quite a range of ages. I would say Jeremiah was probably one of the older ones. And the person who had very clear Civil War experience. There were a number of younger amputees, which quite surprised me, some aged 17 or 18, because accidents are very common on the roads in Sierra Leone. And if you have a serious fracture, the medical care is not wonderful, and it's often difficult for people to get to a hospital. So we had 2 young women who actually were amputees due to falling over when playing after school, sustaining compound fractures. Family couldn't afford to get them to hospital. And one young man who had sustained a fracture when he fell off the back of his father's motorbike. Again, that's a common mode of transport. I'm just talking, Katerina, so tell me if you want me to stop, but I can take questions and fill in a little bit about other backgrounds. But basically, these are not all people who suffered in the Civil War. There is an ongoing problem in Sierra Leone with amputations.
Yes, I'm not being able to figure it out. So what I'll do is I do have key quotes taken out of the video. So I'll use those to guide everyone through the story. And again, I wish it worked because obviously I don't want to speak for Jeremiah.
He's an impressive guy.
Yes. So I will share. I will then share this way. Thank you, Kath, for filling in. Oh, okay. I'll just go back here. Right. So Jeremiah, when he was only 13 years old, is when his leg was cut, and this was part of the conflict that was going on. And in fact, he was stuck for 3 years in the hospital. So up until the age of 16, alone, he was stuck in the hospital in Freetown because of exactly the dangers that also Kath just mentioned on the roads. Following that, he moved to Kenema to live with his uncle, who then also unfortunately died because he was a policeman. And now Jeremiah found himself at a young age of not being able to find his parents. He didn't know where his parents were. He didn't obviously have a job. He's not in school. So the only option he had was to beg in the streets. Until one association, the Single Leg Amputee Sports Association called SLASA, found him and introduced him to their own group. So who is SLASA? SLASA is one of the partners we're working with together with Rory as well and Paddy Ciela. So we do a lot of partnerships in our projects, who has brought young and older individuals, female and male, together through football. What they've done is they've provided that excitement. They've provided that hope that these individuals have a community and a sense of belonging through this sport. And of course, it's fun. There is a way to expend your energy, and there is the excitement of being supported through someone to get better. Jeremiah found himself traveling to Spain. In this interview, he uses phrases like, I was the best player in Slasa. You can see that sort of the excitement. And through that, he grew to be a manager for the Slasa regional program, and then went on to repeat in Kailahun. Again, this is the moment, I was hoping for you to also see his excitement, but this is the moment again where you can see that he's got that confidence through the growth, through getting a position of responsibility. This is still a hobby for most of the members, but it is a way again to build the confidence and build those also dexterity skills through the training. They do a lot of exercises for physical health. So then where do we go from here? Because we're still at a point of we're building community and strength and confidence, but not necessarily independence, or not yet that level of self-reliance. So for Jeremiah, again, what Slasa did at this point was bring more partners to provide tailoring skills and training. And then through the refugee program that was happening, he managed to get a home. So now he's reached a point of not being a consumer of care, but actually being a parent of 4 and a husband who can feed his family. He can now take care of his own. What is important here is that we don't stop, right? One of the things that you will find is sometimes you might say, well, okay, individuals now can eat, are safe, have their home, maybe that's enough. But is it truly? I think one of the things that I find that is very important in the long term is to give them that springboard, that push that they can then do more with with the skills and the support. So Jeremiah, this video was straight after a 3-day training course in beekeeping. The excitement, unfortunately, you can't see it in the video, but the excitement he showed when he was offered to play football, because he loved football, is also repeated. You see the same excitement in his face when he talks about beekeeping. This was at the end of the 3-day course, and one of the things he says, I heard about beekeeping before. I know a little bit about bees and honey, but through this, he actually said, oh, but I also know about wax and everything now I can do with wax, and I can't wait to go and implement everything I've learned in my backyard. So one of the key things here to notice is the opening of the horizons, right? It's given him opportunities he thought were not there in beekeeping. And bees and honey are something common in most of the countries we work with. People are aware of bees and honey, but in a honey hunting sense. So a very indigenous level of training. Well, there's no training knowledge that's passed on through generations, but no formal training. And like Jeremiah, the moment we train a group in beekeeping, the formal way, there's this immediate excitement, this immediate eye-opener of, okay.
Hi, it's Amber here. Just
Yes.
to remind you that you've got a matter of about 60 seconds now for your
That's
next
okay.
speaker to move.
Okay, that's okay. Thank
listen
you.
to. So I hope
Thank
you enjoyed
you.
the first session,
Thank
and
you.
now you should be thinking about moving on to your second speaker.
Okay, thank you. So what did the actual beekeeping mean? There was the theoretical, there was practical, and these are individuals who have the training of carpentry and tailoring, but now we've given them as another practical use. They've had practical experience. We've adapted the suits, we've adapted the beehives and the stands to fit for purpose. And what now? Just a quick little video. These are Jeremiah's own bees in his back garden. These are other members of Slasa that also have their own bees, which they built, the beehives they built themselves. And we've also even had the first harvest. Just to finish with that, what does it mean? It means we're going from subsistence, we're going from the basics to opening doors for hope, employment, and education in a market that's very new in Sierra Leone. Okay, I'm sorry I couldn't share more, but thank you very much, everyone, for your support and patience. I cannot see.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Katerina. It was really interesting talk. Sorry, the video wasn't working, but maybe, you could share the slides afterwards or something. Yeah. I think next up is David and Alieu.
I'm going to do my bit, and then Badara is going to do his. Is that okay? But how do we share the screens? Does that matter?
I think at the bottom on Zoom you can click on share.
Tell you what, I'll just do. I'm not very technical, so do I just chat now?
Yes, sure, proceed.
Right.
David.
Hi, I won't be let down by technology because I'm hopeless. I haven't got any. Sierra Leone, to me, the people there, I think, are the most resilient and hopeful, and that's one of the most powerful messages I've learned that's transformed my life. So the charity is called the Waterloo Partnership because it's two-way. Although we may send aid and help, we gain so much in values. In 2005, when I had brown hair, I visited Sierra Leone with a group of people because I live in Liverpool and Badara and myself are huge Liverpool fans. We're doing so well this season. We visited Sierra Leone and there's a Waterloo there. So with two Waterloos, our phrase used to be 2 Waterloos, 1 hope. So we have a committee here, we're a charity here, and there is a committee in Waterloo, Sierra Leone, and we liaise with them. It's a partnership, we're listening, we're not imposing. There were loads of school closures in 2005 here. Loads of stuff was going to landfill. I think 17 schools closed. So we put all the furniture on containers and sent them out. We also started to build schools as well. Now we've been going 20 years in May, and it has changed. We took 40 street children, put them through school, 3 through university as nurses, and now they're working in the community. Apart from the war, which was horrific, they also encountered Ebola. So we're educating 45 Ebola orphans. We do lots of water projects with wells and building bridges. But Badara is going to talk now because he for the last 20 years has just been superb. Are you ready to take over, Badara? No.
Well, he might be, but he's still on mute, so.
Right, okay. Badara, can you take your mute off and show yourself on the camera? Right, we can
Hello?
hear, can you speak?
I can speak, but I can see you, David. Can you hear me?
Brilliant. Okay,
Okay.
can we see a picture of you?
Well, I don't know how I'll go about that. You are talking about technology here. I can see a blank, something like a photo and picture, but I cannot. I don't know.
Well,
what do I do now?
I tell you what, Just
Yeah.
talk. Okay, tell
Okay.
us about the last 20 years.
Well, thank you very much, David. I hope you could have seen me talking because I can see you talking. The last 20 years has been, we've seen a lot. 20 years ago, when the first team from Liverpool came out to Waterloo, and we met at the historic place, at a historic place. Well, you can see me now. Can you see me?
Yes.
Okay. And so maybe the light is not too good. The light, but can you see me?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, let me see if I can improve the lighting system here. Is it better now?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I was saying, the last 20 years, we have gone through a lot. We have seen a lot. We have achieved a lot. And we have had also a lot of challenges. When we started the partnership, the first thing we did was to have committees. We had committees to look at various aspects of the issues that were affecting us. But like David said, Waterloo, the Waterloonians are a very resilient person. Before I go, Waterloo is located in the western area, the western rural area of Sierra Leone. It is strategically located between the Bounce River or the Waterloo Creek and the foothills of the Peninsula Mountain. And if you are going to Freetown, you have to pass through Waterloo. You want to go to the Peninsula, you have to pass through Waterloo. Yeah, you want to go to the provinces, you have to pass through Waterloo. So Waterloo is a highly strategic town with a strategic location and happens to be the biggest market. Waterloo Partnership came just after the war, our civil war. And during the civil war, all the fighting forces, the Kamajors, the Ecomog, the rebels, the soldiers disbanded, they all came to Waterloo, fought battles there, and destroyed the village. And our community became one of the most impoverished in the whole of the country because of its strategic location. When the rebels are being driven from Freetown, they come to Waterloo, stay there, captured some people, amputated some, and then move away. Likewise, you have this Zingisong movement, they go up and come, they go and come. Rebels come, Ecomog come, and so on. So, ability. Because after the war, we suffered Ebola, the Ebola outbreak, then later Corona. All these have their effect. So what we started doing to solve some of the problems, we looked at communities that have been apart. So we sort of started building bridges to link communities because most of these bridges were destroyed. We built bridges to link communities. Within these communities, we held meetings, dialogue, and we inquired from them what they think was their most felt need. And it's based on their most felt needs that we generated project proposals, which are sent to Waterloo. Well, felt needs are many, but we prioritize them. Then we do project proposal in a format designed by Waterloo Partnership UK. Then Waterloo Partnership funds these projects. And some of these projects were projects like school constructions. And then we had furniture going to schools because the education of our community in particular and Sierra Leone in general have been destroyed. The fabric of education was destroyed. Teachers were killed, schools were closed, schools were burnt. Even the rebels used the furniture in the schools. to make firewood when they wanted to cook. So we got these furnitures, we started the schooling system. Then, since most of these men have been killed, they left behind a lot of women. These women became single parents. So we designed a project called Women Farmers Project. And that project has become very, very successful. We supplied the women with seeds and tools and Wellington, and they do farming during the rainy season upland and during the dry season down at lower swamps. They plant and harvest vegetables, maize, and so on. So they are able to generate funds on their own to be able to educate their children and provide basic health facilities for them. But during Ebola, we discovered that our health system was fragile, very, very fragile. So we started training nurses. And some of these nurses who have qualified are now plowing back into our community. We have one good example called Cynthia. We have others, but Cynthia is the most prominent. She's now doing a BSc in further nursing. She's now working in the community health center, helping pregnant women, helping so many people. So she's plowing back. So as you can see, these are the areas we have been investing in education. Like he mentioned, we have these Ebola kids whom we still take care of. We pay fees for them, provide them with food, and so on. Then we have some other vulnerable children, which we do likewise. We have some now who are in the university, but we have some now who have completed the WAS examination, passed their exams, but they cannot go to college because we cannot afford to pay for them. So many things have been happening. And in the health system, we have helped the health center with furniture, beds, teaching dolls, and so many other things in the past. Now the health center is almost self-sufficient because our government is helping them. We do a lot of community engagement. We involve so many diverse stakeholders. In fact, recently, to mitigate environmental degradation, we held a symposium where we call most of the stakeholders, the chiefs, the village heads, women's leaders, chair ladies, different groups, councillors, members of parliament, and we told them how we can handle our environment. Because one of the biggest challenges we are having now is environmental degradation. It has affected our water supply because trees have been cut down. Our dams have dried up. Now we only rely on borehole. And we have been grateful to Waterloo Partnership for helping us. In fact, up to recently, we have just installed 2 new pump heads to help with the communities. Although that is just a drop in the ocean, because we have a lot of problem with water, because most of the water people use are contaminated and they lead to waterborne diseases. So the environment, as I said, we live close to the foothills of the Freetown Peninsula. Trees have been cut down to burn charcoal or for firewood. So we held this symposium recently, talking to people, advising them to go back to their communities and tell them that they should not cut trees, but if they do, they should do reforestation. And if they want to plant by the hill slope, they have to do terracing to minimize soil erosion. Because when there is soil erosion, a lot of the soil comes down to the road. In fact, there are times when the amount of soil that comes down from the hills block the highway, except they have to clear them. So we have this kind of problems here, firewood problem, because this is the only way people can live. And many people now build on the hillside without even permit. We engage the councillors to tell the councillors that if people want to build, they should have inspectors, health inspectors, building inspectors. Hello, are you getting me? Hello, David? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so let me go ahead. So as
We're
I was
hearing
saying, for environmental mitigation, because this climate and change thing is really affecting us. It is either very hot well, not very cold, but hot and dusty, very hot. Recently, the sun was so hot, everybody went outside. You cannot stay indoors. It's so hot because people burn fuel, fossil fuel. Our vehicles have a lot of emission. Yeah, vehicles, they only check you basically for your life insurance. Even your exhaust pipe is emitting a lot of smoke. They don't care. So we have all these problems here. But we are trying to see how best we can help. The problems are mainly, but challenges, the successes have been great. We have succeeded in these women farmers. We succeeded in wealth. We succeeded in community engagement. We succeeded in women farming. We succeeded in health and sanitation. Because now people have less waterborne diseases. We now have better, cleaner, and safe drinking water, which we did not have in the past. Now we do have this kind of water, which helps people to get better health facilities. And like I'm saying, so many things have been going on. We have a lot of coordination and dialogue going on. Water supply, environmental degradation. We are trying to tackle all this, but we cannot tackle all of these problems because most of these problems are financing. Many children want to go to school, but they cannot. Now, the economy here is so terrible that most parents cannot afford to send their children to school. People come in as well, can you join us in this uniform scheme so that we can go to school? But no, Waterloo Partnership UK has a limited fund. They cannot fund everything, but they are doing their best. So here, the partnership, we are mutual. They don't tell us what to do, what we should do, or we don't tell them what they should do. We agree on things that we have to do, and then projects are implemented. And these projects have been very, 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 very helpful and successful to the community. The educated children, some are working in other institutions now. Some are working in hospitals. Some are teachers. Although not all are qualified, but a lot have been achieved. A lot have been achieved. A lot have been achieved. But like I said, we have our challenges. The challenges are many. Because this most of the people are semi-illiterate. They are illiterate. Bulk of them are illiterate because the war had made them more illiterate than before. Most of the people who left school were not able
just
to
to let you know that you should be kind of drawing to a close from your second speaker, and then you have the remainder
let me
the
round
next half an hour for questions and networking.
Okay, thank you
Enjoy.
very much. So, should I stop now?
Yeah.
You have 1 minute.
Hello.
Yeah, I was just gonna to come back and just summarize. Or did you have anything else you wanted to say, Badara?
No, all I wanted to say was that with this kind of collaboration networking, it's good. We know problems that exist not only in SIDCN or Waterloo, but we know of problems and the challenges and the way they try to solve some of these problems in different parts of Africa. I recollected the first speaker saying they are mainly Africa-centered. That's good because we have so many problems here. So I want to thank you very much for listening. I'm sure I've tried to mention some, but not all because of the time. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That was great. Can I just say thank you so much. He is such a terrific leader as well. And we're really, really proud. It's been hard to do 20 years, but we're so proud. Just to say 2 things. We recently funded a climate change conference in Waterloo there. So they can start planning because the flooding is increasing. And just to say the women's project, they work in the swamps, and I've been out there. The creche is children under a tree. phenomenal workers, you know, so that's a really good project. But if you want to see any of the projects, waterloopartnership.co.uk, we've got videos of the two new wells we've opened and lots of things. So if you've got any questions, happy to answer.
Could I jump in a minute, please? Because this is absolutely amazing.